video. Please excuse the voice, I've been sick. So in today's video, I have 6 en español business models for Mazatlan. These could work other places. Obviously, that's where they come from. So let's just jump right into it. These are in no specific order. So number 1, gluten-free bakery. So the way I'd set this up, you get yourself a nice storefront someplace, right, with a big enough back for a bakery. Okay, you come up with your recipes. Now immediately you're gonna be able to, here in Mazatlan, you're gonna be able, I'd bet money that you could get a contract with Starbucks, like that. And then there's all the other coffee shops. So not only do you have your storefront, you have all those coffee shops for gluten-free pastries. Then every single place in Mazatlan that sells hamburgers, hot dogs, or pizza. So, and those places would need to have a freezer as well, so it wouldn't be like every single one. But all those become potential customers as well. So you could have yourself hamburger buns, hot dog buns, and pizza dough, pizza crusts, right? So I think that would be absolutely, great. And especially because when you start to do gluten-free, like just all the other stuff that it's always just wheat. Bread is just wheat, that's it. But when you go gluten-free, there's like, sweet potato, rice, it's just a huge, I could literally sit here and just name things you can turn, So developing a recipe that's based on, healthy, quality ingredients for your recipes for everything, yeah. I think that would be a really successful business just about anywhere, honestly, but here in Mazatlan especially. Okay, so Mazatlan is this little city on the coast surrounded by huge farming. There's this valley that just is crazy, just farms, like growing tons of stuff. The markets are just amazing, all that stuff. Okay, so the only frozen fruit that I can get for like smoothies and this type of stuff is mangoes, blueberries, strawberries, and those, I don't even like putting strawberries in my smoothies. Okay, so now when you go into the markets, you see dragon fruit, papaya, guava, fruits that I don't even know what they are. But there's tons of them, right? So, flash freezing company to start making more of the fruits and vegetables available through freezing. Mainly fruits is what, I would like to be able to go buy, bags of frozen papayas, bags of frozen guavas and dragon fruit and mangoes. They already have that, but it's not local, right? But the farms, there's local farms like right all around. So, and then, there's smoothie places everywhere, but the smoothies are, a lot of cases, they're just like ice. And then, it's like you want some milk in there, maybe some coconut milk, and, some base. They'll have like a jug of, mango. And then that's a smoothie, it's got ice and, some base, So the smoothie game is not really being helped out by the lack of frozen fruit, right? Because smoothies, you start with your base, which could be quite a few different things, right? Blended up almonds and coffee is what I prefer, and with some protein powder in there. So that's the base, but then never put ice in a smoothie. It's always going to be frozen fruit, right? So frozen mangoes, blueberries, papaya, mango, all this stuff, right? So so a plant, a factory, whatever, that has flash freezing equipment that takes that stuff fresh from the farms, flash freezes it, keeps it frozen, has a freaking network of probably just one vehicle, honestly, with its a really quality freezer truck, and taking it to places to get that into smoothies so the smoothie game can elevate. So like make your customers all the different smoothie places, right? Not only put it in bags in the grocery stores, right? But also like go to the smoothie, any place that has smoothie type anything and be like, look, this is how to make a smoothie, and bring recipes and all that. Yeah, so a flash freezing facility, boom, that's 2. Number 3, there's these systems, right? You have a battery, big cube like this, and you pop it in these chargers, and you pop it out, and you can put them into whatever you have that runs on batteries. So you can use these batteries into carts, and you can use these batteries into little cars. I made a video about this. So the business model here is buying a ton of batteries, buying the charging stations, getting all the charging stations distributed throughout the city, and at that point, starting a shop that converts pretty much anything, right? But focusing on the little cabs, the little vehicles, the old motorcycles, and being able to have conversion kits available so people can do this themselves. And so your business model is multiple, right? So you have all those batteries out there, which are run by apps. So you're renting batteries, okay? Then you're converting old vehicles to battery. So there's a second part of that business model. And then providing new, right? So importing or manufacturing new vehicles, motorcycles, scooters, little truck hauling things, all these small vehicles, right? Offering them new with the battery system involved already, right? So somebody can show up there and they can either have their vehicle converted over to electric, or they can just buy one, okay? So that's a whole business model. That's really needed worldwide, to be honest. All right, so now there's these solar panels or mini splits that use solar panels. Okay, so there is no company that installs this type of thing. There's companies that install solar panels, okay, but specifically mini splits that are run by solar panels, hot water heaters that are run by solar panels, because this is like a whole different category, because most solar, I'm guessing, plugs into the grid. Maybe not. I actually don't know for sure. I see solar systems around. I don't know if they're grid tie solar or if it's just, if they even have grid tie solar here. I'm not sure, okay? But the point is grid tie solar is a lot more complicated than mini split solar. Mini split, you put in a mini split just like every other mini split you put in, and then you just run solar panels to it. So you need to, get a racking system that's going to meet code, design a racking system that you can just use and adjust to mount stuff. So you just have this equipment that you can just put anywhere, right? The engineered with the city regulations on strength and all this. So that would be like a product you develop, right, to hold the solar panels. And that's basically what you need. You get your solar panels, you got your mini split, now you need the racking to hold it up there. So that's the whole business model, is just solar that installs solar mini splits, solar hot water heater, and maybe eventually solar ovens. Like, they have some battery powered ovens that are coming on the scene, and if they have a battery in them, they'll be putting solar panels on them. So that would be something else. But basically, like, running certain portions of the house stuff on solar without having to have it tied to the grid, which, again, I'm not quite sure on that. So there's like a mini split solar installation business. It also does hot water tanks, right? Solar hot water heaters. We are now on number 5. This is, there is no craft cider in Mazatlan. There are cider things they sell that are kind of a mass-produced type of thing. There is craft beer. I think there might even be more than one craft beer place, but nobody's making craft cider. Now, when you realize that, this is Mazatlan, and I don't think that there may be apples growing, but it's probably not like where apple cider comes from, right? But there is a lot of pineapples, right? So starting a craft cider company that bases that more on pineapple than apple, right? That's the concept. And there is a drink already. It's called tepache in Mexico, southern Mexico. But it's kind of a low alcohol. It's like 1% or something like this, right? So, craft cidery, and I don't know if you can technically call something that has no apples in it, if you can still call that cider. Not sure, but I do. It's like fruit cider, so other fruits can be the base, right? So I think that would be really good business, because again, your business clientele is like the restaurants and the bars that have that, higher end beer already. Now, boom, here's a higher end cider, right? So now, number 6. Okay, so Mazatlan has this amazing potential to put solar for their entire electrical grid and use these reservoirs they have up in the mountains that they use for water that they could use for also hydroelectric power at the same time, right? So the plan here is that there needs to be a company that installs solar panels above farms, okay? This is very key, that you don't just wipe out farms and put your solar panels right on the ground, that you put them up in the air above the farms that get solar panels put above them. It's called agrovoltaic farming underneath solar panels. It's an amazing concept that people are doing. It's not really a concept, it's an amazing technique. People are doing this around the world. And if you're starting from zero and you're gonna like replace your whole grid with solar, this way of putting the solar panels above your farms enables your farms to actually get better harvests and be able to grow some things that otherwise wouldn't be able to grow in this region. So there's tons of benefits to doing this now. So the business model is this: you come up with the engineering for the apparatus that holds those solar panels. That is the business, right? So it's the company that manufactures those, whatever you call them, the things that hold the solar panels in the air, right? So the racks, okay? So you manufacture the racks specifically for the farming solar, right? So you already have the engineering figured out, you have the manufacturing figured out, and you have the installation figured out. Okay, so then when Mazatlan, and that might be part of the business model, is convincing Mazatlan to switch to solar to make their air primo, year round, get that old burning gas stuff out of the way, right? I mean, that's kind of business relies on this whole switching over. I'm sure some farms would just put and then just use the solar themselves, right? So, I mean, there's probably some room in there for a small amount of business before like a major push, but when Mexico starts to switch over to solar, having already started a business that's making those racks for solar and pushing the farming at the same time and has all the knowledge, the techniques down, a company like that, if you can get to that, is going to blow up completely, be huge, probably international or doing stuff all through South America and stuff, because it's like building that technology and having the know-how, of how to go in with a light foot onto farms and put this stuff in there so the farm can just continue to farm without any kind of, they change a little bit the way they do things, but just having all those techniques and having the people and having all that stuff is so valuable. That's the future. Okay, that was 6 business models for Mazatlan, Mexico that might work pretty much anywhere, I guess. Peace, subscribe.
Thank you for watching.